Restoring the Father's name Yahweh. Restoring the Messiah's name Yahshua. Re-establishing Torah covenant. Preparing the bride. The revealing of the sons of Elohim. Prophecy. The return of Melchizedek, the royal priesthood. Elijah's school of the prophets. The Way Ministries. A return to the Philadelphian spirit.
Revelation chapter 20. Then I saw an angel coming down from heaven, having the key to the bottomless pit, a depthless underworld, and a great chain as a shackle in his hand. He laid hold by seizing with vigorous strength of the dragon, an extraordinary and fascinating sight, that serpent, sly, cunning, and as artfully malicious from the time of old, who is the devil and Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years. And he cast with violence him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal for security and preserving on him, so that he should deceive by causing the roaming away from the safety of truth of Torah of the nations that are pagan and non-Jewish no more, till the 1,000 years were finished. But after these things he must be released for a little while. And I saw thrones, the stately seat of power, and they sat on them, and judgment by using the law to judicially decide punishment was committed to them. Then I saw the souls who are now immortal of those who had been beheaded for their witnesses, which is a judicial testimony to Yahshua, and for the word, a divine expression of Messiah of Yahweh, who had not worshipped by prostrating in homage to the beast that was dangerous and venomous, or his image that was a statue or a faint copy and resemblance of himself, and had not received his mark by getting an etching stamp as a badge of servitude or figurine on their foreheads or in superimposition on their hands. And they lived and reigned as the foundational sovereign kings with Messiah, who was the anointed one, smeared with oil to a consecrated office for religious service for 1,000 years. But the rest of the remaining of the dead did not live again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first in order of importance resurrection, as to stand up again from death. Blessed, supremely fortunate, and well off, and holy, who are sacred and ceremonially consecrated, is he who has part and allotment in the first in order of importance resurrection, as to stand up again from death. Over such the second in time, place, and rank, death, has no power or influence, but they shall be priests of a high order of Melchizedek of Yahweh, the supreme divinity, and of Messiah, who was the anointed one smeared with oil, to a consecrated office for religious service, and shall reign as the foundational sovereign kings with him 1,000 years. Now when the 1,000 years had expired by reason of a prophetic limit, Satan, the accuser, will be released from his prison, used for isolation as a guard for observation, and will go out and to deceive by causing to roam away from the safety of truth of Torah of the nations that are pagan and non-Jewish, which are in the four corners of the earth. Gog, which is the name of a future anti-Messiah from a northern country, and Magog, which is an anti-Hebraic faith party of a barbarous nation in the northern region, who could descend from Japheth to gather them together to battle, whose number is as the sand as heaped up on the beach of the sea. They went up on the breadth of the earth and surrounded the camp of the saints who are sacred and ceremonially consecrated, and the beloved city. And fire came down from Yahweh out of heaven and devoured them. The devil, the false accuser, who deceived by causing them to roam away from the safety of truth of Torah of them was cast with violence into the lake, like a large or small pond of fire and brimstone, of flashing sulfur, where and whichever spot the beast, that dangerous and venomous system, and the false prophet, a religious impostor, are from that time forward. And he, this one, will be tormented by going to the bottom day and night forever, from that time forward and ever. Then I saw a great, exceedingly large, and of years a white throne, the stately seat of power, with him who sat on it, from whose face the earth and heaven fled away to vanish out of sight, and there was no place found for them. And I saw the dead, small in dignity and great, that were fearfully strong to a high degree, standing before the throne, stately seat of power of the potentate who rules. And books, a rolled up scroll, open like a sheet, were opened. And another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged by using the law to judicially decide punishment according to their works that are deeds done, by the things which were written of the deeds with description in the books. The sea gave up the dead corpses who were in it, and death and Hades delivered up the dead corpses who were in them, and they were judged each one according to his works. Then death, that was assigned to them, and Hades, the grave of departed souls, were cast with violence into the lake of fire. This is and consists of the meaning of the second in time, place, and rank of death that was assigned to them. And anyone not found written with their deeds and description in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire.